High school version of March Madness is upon us. It's tournament time here on OH Report. Tonight, the Division II Sectional Championship between Shelby and Ontario. Our pregame show is coming up next.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Welcome back to Madison Middle School. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins. Welcome to the Campestre pregame show. And just saying that is making me hungry. I'll tell you what, if you're a basketball junkie, this is the time of year when the adrenaline really starts to flow because it's win or go home.
It is. And each round that you win, you know you're going to play an opponent that's better than the opponent you just played. So the pressure's on these young kids. And if they want to continue their season, they're going to have to play their best basketball each night.
2 games tonight. The first one, this Division II sectional final between number 7 Ontario and number 2 Shelby. Last week, well, actually just a couple of nights ago, Ontario needed some drama to pull out a win against a very stubborn Clear Fork team.
Well, the one advantage Ontario has is they played on this court. It was only a couple of nights ago, but you're right. A game that I watched on OH Report was a tremendous finish when Ontario went to their full court pressure, did some trapping, got some turnovers, created some easy baskets, and played solid defense down the end. Tonight they're going to have to do that for 32 minutes.
Grayson Purvis hit a 3 with about a minute to go, and the Warriors are down by 4. He then converted a turnover into a layup and put Ontario up for good, and they ended up winning 62-59. Now that's the good news. The bad news, Gage Weaver, who led Ontario with 14 points, committed 2 technical fouls. He is not playing tonight. Braxton Hall is also out with an ankle injury. So Tim Mergel really has a tough road to hoe if he's going to pull off the upset tonight against number 2 seed Shelby.
Well, you're talking about 2 quality basketball players. They're 2 leading scorers. And Gage Weaver's a young man that has been to the free throw line over 100 times this season. He is the one player that is aggressive. He's a good perimeter player, but he is aggressive with the basketball. They're really going to miss that aggressiveness tonight.
Tim Mergel probably has to think, what else can go wrong in this postseason? The one advantage he has is he knows his way around this building pretty well.
Well, yeah, he coached here for many years. He played here. an outstanding career here, and now he's at Ontario, so at least he knows his facility. And again, his players, they played here the other night, so that is to their advantage tonight, and they're going to need any advantage they can get playing against a quality opponent like Shelby.
Well, and they're also going to need some guys to step up in different roles, and Boatpen Miller is probably one of those guys.
Well, they're going to need a lot of guys to step up, but you're right. Miller is someone that has shown some success this season. They have some good shooters. They have some kids that can knock down the perimeter shot. But it doesn't seem like any of them are as consistent scorers as is Weaver, as is Hall. Tonight they're going to need 3, 4, 5 guys to maybe have their best games of the season.
Now, on the other side of that, the Shelby Whippets, they got to sit and watch Wednesday night's game. They're the number 2 seed. They won the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference, and they're really heading into this postseason with some expectations.
Well, they are. They had a great regular season, and, they entered the tournament as the number 2 seed, even though they got beat late in the season by Lexington, the number 3 seed, on their own home court. But they certainly have to be a program, a team in Coach Galloway that feels, we can win a district if we're playing quality basketball at this time of year.
Now, what I liked when I saw him before the ball game tonight, he's not overlooking Ontario. He's making sure that they take care of business tonight.
Well, and I've known Gregg for many years, had the opportunity to coach him at Ashland University, and, you wouldn't think Gregg would overlook anybody. But the key is Gregg's not playing tonight. So make sure the players are not overlooking.
Well, and I'll tell you who is playing tonight. Alex Bruskotter, who is the District 6 Player of the Year in Division II, and he's very special.
He is. He's a young man that can shoot from the perimeter. He can get the ball to the basket. I said earlier about Gage Weaver, who is not playing tonight, shooting over 100 free throws this year. Alex Bruskotter also has shot over 100 free throws. He will be aggressive getting the ball to the hoop. He also has a good three-point shooting. He's a 36% shooter from out there at the three-point line. But tonight, I could see him trying to do a lot of damage and getting the ball to the paint and finishing.
Well, and the question for Ontario is going to be, how do they stack up defensively against Shelby? Yes, the Whippets have Bruskotter, but they also have other guys that can score.
Well, they do. Isaiah Ramsey's a heck of an athlete, and, he's someone that can get the basketball to the basket. Casey Lance is a heck of a scorer. We remember his brother from a couple of years ago on that great team that went to the regional semis. They have scores up and down the lineup, which you would expect from a team that won their conference and did as successful entire season as they were.
Gregg Galloway is really setting the bar very high for himself in Shelby. In his second year, they've won the MOAC twice, and now the expectation is, let's see what we can do now in the postseason and how deep of a run that we can make it. Because I know last year they lost a stunner in the sectionals to Mansfield Senior, and they were expecting to go a little bit farther last year.
Well, you're exactly right. And, you look at their conference, and there are some D2s. There are also a lot of D3s in their conference. They played some pretty good non-league opponents. So that's important to them. The reason you play those good non-league opponents is to prepare you for the tournament. So when you have to come up against another quality Division II team, you've been in this arena before. So hopefully that experience is going to pay off for them.
Now they only have 3 losses on the season. One was to Madison, one was to Marion Harding, and the other was to Lexington, a team that they could end up playing next week if they take care of business tonight and Lexington wins the nightcap here against Willard.
No offense to Willard, but I think most people around this area, that's what they want to see. They want to see another rematch between Lexington and Shelby. A couple of weeks ago in front of a packed house in Shelby, Lexington had their way against them, but, hey, now it's tournament time. Anything can happen.
Obviously, you have been in these situations in the postseason. What is different in preparing for the postseason versus a regular season, let's say a big game, a conference game?
Well, in the regular season, you're going to have your ups and your downs. And when you have your downs, you just hope it's still good enough to win the basketball game. But when it comes tournament time, you got to be consistent because you're not going to have a weak opponent. You want to play. A coach wants his team to play at a high level the entire tournament. If you get beat, so be it.
You also have to have a little bit of luck as well.
Oh, there's no question. Most teams that go to Columbus had a little luck along the way, and that always helps.
It also doesn't hurt to have good players.
No. I've always said it's coaching. But, you can disagree.
We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem. Here at Madison Middle School as the Ontario Warriors getting ready to take on the Shelby Whippets, and on paper, Ontario is the underdog. What will it take for them to pull the upset tonight against Shelby?
Well, two keys that I have down is, number one, they're going to have to connect from long range. They are a perimeter-oriented basketball team. They've lost a couple of scorers, certainly Weaver being one that, again, is aggressive getting to the hoop. So their shot opportunities, I think, tonight are going to come from the perimeter, and they're going to have to be consistent and knock those things down. Now, I'll tell you, the other night I saw a Galleon team get beat by Willard. They scored 17 threes. Well, I think it's going to have to be something pretty comparable to that tonight for Ontario. And the second is control the paint. Ontario is not the physically strongest basketball team. Shelby's got some athletes. They got some good, strong kids. They're going to try to get the ball inside. I think they have to do a great job of controlling the paint.
Now, on the other side of that, the Shelby Whippets, and we got a taste of this from Gregg Galloway. He is not overlooking this team. What are the keys for them to take care of business tonight?
Well, I think number one is don't look ahead. And I know Gregg's not looking ahead, and, hopefully he relayed that on to his team. And it's twofold. Number one, young kids, when they know the opposing team has a couple of key players missing, maybe they have a tendency to look ahead at who's our next opponent. Well, as a coach, you want your team to play at a high level right now. You don't want to have to come into preparation this weekend or Monday and start coaching effort. You want that effort to be consistent, and then you can start coaching strategy. And second, hey, what Shelby does so well, rebound and run, baby. Get that rebound out, get it out and run, be aggressive. If some shooters have a perimeter shot, fine, but be aggressive, get to the boards rebounding, get to the boards on dribble penetration.
Well, I'm sure Gregg Galloway wants to get up and down the floor and take a team in Ontario that is already shorthanded and wear them out before the second half even gets here.
Well, it's going to be interesting. How does Ontario try to attack it? You can say, well, if you're Ontario, we just want to slow the game down. Well, I don't know. We've only seen Ontario once this year. Do they have the ability to slow it down? Do they have the ball handlers? Shelby will give you pretty good pressure on the basketball. Can Ontario stay out there and handle the basketball? Or does Coach Merkel, which I think the route he's going to go, is say, fellas, just play loose. We got nothing to lose. All righty? Go out there and play loose, and if you have a good one, put it up.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Ontario Warriors under the direction of head coach Tim Mergel in his second season, and that lineup has some changes. Bodpen Miller, the sophomore, scored 12 in the win over Clear Fork. And we saw, speaking of Clear Fork, we saw Carter Weaver when they beat Clear Fork earlier this season. He played very well, and Tim Mergel would love to get that kind of performance tonight out of Weaver.
That would be a key. But if you remember, it was the freshman that made the tying basket there late in the regulation to send it in overtime that gave Ontario the chance to win.
Now for the Shelby Whippets, they're led by their head coach Greg Galloway and the District 6 Player of the Year, Alex Bruskotter. Led the MOAC in scoring with 21 points. He gets help from Casey Lance and Isaiah Ramsey. They both average in double figures.
And we see Ontario comes out right away playing a little man-to-man. I'm sure they're going to want to try to do as much as they can inside. There's pretty good post defense that time as Shelby tries to go with the high-low, and Ontario forces the turnover.
Now, Bruskotter is a guard, but you're seeing him now try to get the ball inside and take advantage of a mismatch against a smaller Ontario team.
Well, exactly, and I could see them trying to do that all day, and I could see them doing some full-court pressure here. Again, Shelby trying to speed the tempo up.
We saw him last year as a sophomore, and he was a scorer last year. It's scary to think that Bruskotter's only a junior.
I tell you, he is, and he's a quality player, and we have some quality juniors. We have some quality underclassmen in this area. I think basketball is good this year. I think it's going to be better in the next couple of years.
Well, we're going to see one of those in Game 2 with Max Dawson for Willard. Scored 1,000 points in his career as a junior.
You see Ontario being a little patient right here. It looks like they're trying to spread the court a little bit. Maybe get Shelby to make a mistake defensively.
Shelby very active at the defensive end. No score, just underway. We're going to wave the shot off. The foul is on the floor.
A reach in, and Ontario took, over a minute, I know, off the clock right there before they got their first shot attempt up.
Fouls on Hess, that's his first. And Bruskotter clears the rebound and pushes the other way for the Whippets.
And they're off and running right away.
Bruskotter for three.
Well, I think if you're Ontario, you know Bruskotter's a good three-point shooter, but you'd rather have him out there than inside.
An offensive rebound by the Warriors. But Max Hess comes out and takes it in transition up ahead to Ramsey, who misses, and there's a lid on both baskets here early.
There is. Good penetration by Hess. Good dish off, but Ramsey not able to finish. Another turnover, and here's Shelby on the run again. Euro step, that's a great move. To avoid the charge, to get by the defense, a little Euro step, and Bruskotter gets the first points of the game.
And at the other end, defensively, a block shot, and the Whippets will push.
And they have numbers now, 5-on-4.
Lance off balance, no, and he's fouled by Miller.
And Lance is a 34% three-point shooter, so he has the ability to shoot that perimeter shot. But I have a feeling Coach Galloway said, hey, our game plan is let's get the ball to the rack. That way he passed up a uncontested three-point shot to get the ball to the basket, get a foul, and go to the free throw line.
Lance makes it a three-point game. He's named second team all-district this week.
Ontario here early has 3 turnovers, and The first time against full court pressure, they were able to break it, but it was in the half court where they've created the turnovers.
Reach-in foul will be called on Ramsey.
And what happens so often to young kids, I'm not sure it happened right there, but you know, nobody wants to play defense, especially for a long period of time. And if the offense is able to hold the basketball, frequently the defense gets impatient and maybe reaches, maybe gambles a little bit more than what they should. We'll see how patient Ontario wants to be. They've done this a couple of times. Cross screen inside and come off a down screen.
Ontario just really trying to get something going offensively. Miller has it stripped away.
Good hands by Hess that time.
And Ramsey comes up gimping. Ball poked away, and Leach races the other way. This is the layup, but an offensive rebound is then taken away, and here comes Shelby again.
That's 2 loose balls that Hess has come up with.
And they will call the offensive foul on Bryson Baker.
Well, defensively, I don't think Tim Mergel could ask for anything better. He's given up 4 points in the last 3.5 minutes, but, you know, I guess to win the game, you're going to have to score some, aren't you? And that's where they're finding a little bit of trouble. Yeah.
Weaver to the other end. A 3 in the air by Leach doesn't go, but Miller with another offensive rebound. Ontario doing a nice job on the offensive glass. And then Miller goes to the ground, and it will stay at this end of the floor.
That's 14 fouls on Shelby right now. One thing that Ontario, not having a lot of size, by shooting the three-point shot, so often a long shot is going to be a long rebound, and their perimeter players out front are a lot of times good position to rebound. Not able to finish there.
Ontario does a nice job defensively. As they knock it out of bounds, it will stay with the Whippets.
Overall, Ontario doing a good job protecting the paint. You know, they're in there. They're giving a lot of help, trying to cut down dribble penetration.
Bruskotter picked up by Carter Weaver. 3 in the air by Lance.
That's a big 3. One way to get the defense to come out of the lane is knock down some perimeter shots.
Kick it out. 3 in the air by Zay. Doesn't go. But he's able to chase down the miss.
A couple of good dribble penetrating kick, just not able to knock down the open shot. Not able to finish either. Boy, there is a lid down there.
Strong move at the other end. Another offensive rebound and a whistle and a foul. Foul is on Zay, his first.
Good job by Shelby of following the shooter and trying to get a hand on the rebound and ultimately coming down with it. And going up is Carson Brubaker, getting 2 shots.
Brubaker, a 60% free throw shooter. Averages about 4 points a game.
We have, for each team, we have a freshman in the basketball game as Foltz started, of course, for Ontario, and now DeVito is in for Shelby. Did you have Shelby this year in football?
No.
I know DeVito is, as a freshman, was their quarterback. Ontario needs to find some success at the offensive end right here. I think I'm stating the obvious, but they've had some open looks. Here's another open look. Just not able to connect.
Bruskotter, who's been quiet so far. Inside, posts up, and it drops.
And it was a good job. He could have, he had a smaller man on him. He could have jump shot from 15, but he used his dribble. There was no double down on him, so he used his dribble to get in the lane and get a better look.
Timeout taken by Ontario. 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Shelby with a 10-0 lead. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from Madison Middle School. The winner of this game will take on either Lexington or Willard, as those two winners will advance to Ashland next week for the district tournament. And we will get an opportunity to see Lexington and Willard in the second game of our doubleheader here on OH Report. I'm looking forward to seeing Max Dawson play.
I am too. I've only watched him on TV or on tape, and a quality player. I know his father, and his father's been a good coach for years. So, you know, Max, some people say he's the best player in the area. It'll be interesting to watch him play tonight. He's obviously got he and the Willard Flashes have a tough opponent tonight.
Shelby with an early lead, 2:33 to go in the first quarter.
You know, it's a 10-0 lead. Ontario is yet to score, but they've had some drives where they just weren't able to finish. They've had some open looks where they just weren't able to knock them down. So I would bet that Coach Mergel during the timeout, one thing he told them was just relax, fellas. We know you can hit those shots. Just relax.
They're also hanging with Shelby on the boards, each team with 5, especially in the offensive glass.
And that's going to be a key for them. That's going to be a key, but you can't afford turnovers, at least turnovers that, you know, is really probably not defensive forced.
Bruskotter misses a drive, but an offensive putback doesn't go, but a foul, and Casey Lance will go back to the line.
And as soon as we both say Ontario's doing a good job on the board, here comes Casey Lance and says, wait a minute, fellas. I'm going to get a second and a third chance at the basket.
Fouls on Grady Schroeder, his first. Lance with an early 5 points in the first quarter. And he is now 3 for 4 from the line.
It's good to see Ramsey coming back in. I saw him limping. I didn't know how he got injured. I don't know if he landed on somebody's ankle or what, but it's good to see him back in the basketball game. Shelby coming out with a little trapping. Again, good look, just not able to connect. Good offensive rebound.
Kick
another
it back
good
out,
look.
And another missed 3. Tim Mergel is probably sooner or later, one of those has got to drop. Miller clears the miss.
They're off and running. Now they try to get the ball to the hoop, which.
Miller for 3. And Ontario cannot buy a basket here in the first quarter. Bruskotter with a shot fake, initiates the contact, and he's going to get fouled and go to the line. The Ontario faithful not happy with the call.
Now, Brian, Ontario is yet to hit a 3, obviously. They are a 30% three-point shooting team. So they are capable of knocking down the 3. Now, you know, a couple of good shooters are out, but they have some other kids that are capable of knocking it down. It just hasn't come through tonight yet. Shelby keeps up the pressure, causes another turnover, or they get a foul.
Going to get a foul on the reach. And they're going to call that. I believe that'll be on Bruskotter. That's his first. Bruskotter is going to get a breather with 1:12 to go in the first quarter. Another three.
There we go, baby.
One drops for Zay.
Zay makes it three, and that hopefully will open up the floodgates a little bit for Ontario.
Foul on the reach committed by Leach.
Now,
actually, they're going to call the foul on Zay. That's his second.
Yeah, he's their leading scorer tonight. So you can't afford to put him on the bench.
And I'll tell you, the mindset that Greg Galloway had before the game, yes, they're up by 11 now, but they've given up a lot of open threes.
Well, they have, and I don't know if that's the game plan or what it is, but they have given up some open threes. But until Ontario proves that they're going to knock them down consistently, I don't know if he's too concerned.
Hess misses the first. Misses them both, and the ball poked away, and a foul is going to be called on Casey Lance.
And, Brian, tell me if you agree. When it comes tournament time, you better be knocking down those free throws.
Yes.
You're going to get into some close games here. Free throw shooting is going to be key.
Well, as you talked about, as you go deeper down the tournament trail, the teams get better and better, so
Exactly.
your margin for error shrinks.
Oh, most certainly. And if you have some freebies, you got to take advantage of it.
Carter Weaver
doing a good job of bringing the dribble out, trying to get a little bit of spacing. Looks like Ontario might try to go for the last shot of the quarter. Maybe not.
Maybe not, as Zay connects
knocks
again.
down a three.
He has all 6 of Ontario's points, and he makes it an 8-point game. Shelby will, I was getting ready to say, hold for the last shot. And that looked like a travel by Lance, but he got away with it. Ball knocked out of bounds, and that will do it for the first quarter. Shelby with a 10-point lead in the Division II sectional final. We'll be back to Madison Middle School right after this.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store, or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Casey Lance with 8 points. Alex Bruskotter with 7. And Shelby with a 10-point lead to start the second quarter. The only offense, a couple of threes for Brady Zay for Ontario, and that has been it at the offensive end of the floor for the Warriors.
The good news is they were late in the quarter, so maybe that's going to be something that's going to come for them. Ontario goes to a little zone action right now.
Come up with a turnover and an opportunity to chip away at this. And this, we've talked about this all year, playing to the fourth quarter, getting to the fourth quarter, and Ontario just kind of hanging around.
Well, they are. It's only a 10-point deficit, so, knock down some more shots. Get a 5 count closely guarded that time.
So another turnover for Ontario as they now have 6.
Two-three zone, trying to pack it inside. Nice skip pass.
Inside to Bruskotter. Shelby moving the ball very well on the perimeter, and Casey Lance caps it off with his second three.
You're right. That was very good ball movement. Very, very good ball reversal.
Ramsey with a steal, but then it's taken right away.
Turnover to turnover.
And then a foul. Casey Lance picks up personal number 2. Carson Brubaker back in for Shelby, and Landon Foltz, the freshman, back on the floor for Tim Mergel.
Ontario tried to show a lot of patience there in the first quarter with the ball. Here they have a hard time getting it in, so turnover number 8. Is that it for Ontario? Ontario goes back to the man-to-man.
Bruskotter pops up to the elbow. Nice look inside as Hess flashed across the lane.
Good ball reversal that time, and kind of a 5 out, and they finally get a cutter cutting to the hoop and get a good look.
Another 3 in the air by Leach. And I got a feeling they're going to get Leach for a personal as he grabbed Carson Brubaker.
Well, I think these guys are all familiar with each other. I mean, Ontario and Shelby, I think they border each other, don't they, the towns? And obviously in the same conference, so.
Shelby took both games in the regular season.
Nice backdoor cut.
And then a block and a foul. That's on Leach. That'll be his second. So Ramsey will go to the line looking for his first points tonight. Ontario leads the all-time series 36-30. But the Whippets swept Ontario in their games this season, and Shelby holds a slim 3-2 edge in the tournament. Ontario with a rebound off of the miss from Ramsey. Shelby took game 1 back in January, 82-67, then ended the regular season with a win at Ontario, 74-43. Nice look backside.
And it was all caused by DeVito with his quick hands getting the steal, and then another couple of nice passes. Shelby is a team, they average 17 assists a game. That's a lot. There's a good move. Inside by Schroeder.
And Schroeder, then quickly at the other end, Ramsey with a layup.
Again, let me repeat that. They average 17 assists a game. I don't think we've seen a team this year that averages that many assists. That shows you an unselfish basketball team.
Bruskotter's presence being felt at the defensive end, but Schroeder gets the third 3 for the Warriors. 2 players have scored for Ontario.
And they score in spurts. Zahe with the first 6, Schroeder with the last 5.
Miller clears the rebound. Weaver has been held in check at the offensive end. Off-balance shot, no. Miller with an offensive rebound that goes in.
That's at least his 3rd offensive rebound tonight. Being very active on the glass.
Brubaker open, and there's contact under the basket.
think they got Bruskotter with a push inside. That's his second foul. That will send Ontario to the line. And, you know, you're down 13 points with 4:13 to go. Hey, you want to connect from the free throw line.
4 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the second quarter. Shelby with a 26-13 lead. Both these coaches in their second season at their respective schools. Greg Galloway replaced Nathan Loney, who went to Mansfield Senior to become an assistant. And the season that they had, Loney's last season, of course, we saw that tournament finish where they lost to Lima Shawnee in the regional semifinal.
In one of the better games that I've seen over the last few years. I mean, both teams played extremely well. Both teams had some quality players, but yeah, I remember Pugh from Shelby just had an outstanding night.
Well, and one of the things I remember about that night, that was right in the, I don't want to say the middle, but getting closer to the end of COVID. So They were just letting people come back to events, and that was the first game that we had in front of a full gym.
Right. That was kind of nice to have.
Alex Bruskotter, a few points below his average, but it's early.
And he's got 2 fouls. He's still in the basketball game with 4:13 to go. There are some coaches that would want, especially key players, they'd like to sit them out in the second quarter when they have 2 fouls. They don't want them to get the third. Coach Galloway trusts Bruskotter not to pick up a cheap third foul.
Carter Weaver with his first point of the ball game. Strong drive inside. He draws the foul, does Bryson Baker. Ontario fans, I think you can, if you haven't figured it out by now, we're sitting on the Ontario side. And they're not fans of some of the calls.
And they're not afraid to make it personal either. That gives Shelby as a team 7 for 12 from the free throw line so far. 7 for 13. I'm sure that's one thing that Coach Galloway will touch on at halftime.
It's a 13-point game. 3:47 to go in the first half. Miller, nice strong take inside, follows his miss, and can't get the second one to go either.
He's got 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, just not able to convert that one. Nice move by the freshman.
And a foul by Landon Foltz, the other freshman.
DeVito kind of took the ball with his left hand towards the elbow and did a quick spin to get the ball up strong to the hoop and collect the foul. And the freshman makes his free throw.
DeVito averages about 8 points a game. 65% from the line, but he's perfect in that trip, 2 for 2.
We saw a lot of teams this year where he would start. Well, it's going to be key. Down 15 right now. Ontario needs a good finish. That's not the start of one. Another turnover. Shelby on the run. Shelby with numbers.
Bruskotter pulls up at the elbow.
At 6'6", 6'7", that's a tough shot to defend.
Bruskotter with 9 and a layup at the other end by Carter Weaver, and he's fouled.
That was a good, strong move by Carter Weaver, taking it strong to the hoop and then using his left hand, getting fouled, getting the ball up high on the backboard to get a chance for a three-point shot.
It's on Alex Bruskotter, his third.
Yeah. Now they're talking about it. Are they going to
No, they're going to give the foul to Casey Lance instead. It'll be his third.
Casey Lance comes over and says, I wasn't even anywhere near the ball. I don't
Weaver completes the three-point play. And it's a 31-17 Shelby lead.
Now Ontario's trying an odd front zone. Earlier they were in an even front.
DeVito trying to get it inside to Ramsey.
The only difference, odd and even, is the gaps are obviously different, so teams want to attack. Shelby's going to want to attack the gaps if they stay in the zone. They do come out man, though, after the out of bounds. Good drive, good hands.
Well, then Baker just lost the handle. Weaver pushes at the other end.
Hey, they're only down 12. Strong finish is what Ontario would like to have.
Well, Tim Murgo would love to be down by single digits at the intermission.
Oh, that would be a win-win for the way this game started.
Three in the air by Baker. And Bruskotter with the offensive rebound kicks it out to DeVito.
Nice pass. Kind of a wraparound pass. Very nice penetration. Drew the defense and had a wraparound pass.
Bryson Baker, the beneficiary of the nice assist. And that pushes the lead back to 14. And a little runner on the baseline.
A la Mark Price. Very nice shot.
Schroeder now with 7. Vino look inside again. Another flash in the gap of the zone by Hess, and he's got 6.
Looks like a quarterback. Every time he catches it, he's looking to pass.
Now the Warriors slow it down. Well, then Weaver attacks the basket, and DeVito clears the rebound.
And again, Shelby with numbers.
Up ahead to Ramsey.
Nice strong move inside. Good transition that time by Shelby.
Another assist by DeVito. And we're under 40 seconds to go. And Ontario will work it for the last shot. Miller thought about the baseline. And an off-balance shot in the lane by Fultz doesn't go. It's out of bounds, and Ontario wants it. I don't think they're going to get it.
No, with 10.9, Shelby's going to have a chance to go for the last shot.
Ooh, that looked like it was off of Shelby. So a break for the Whippets with 10 seconds to go. Off-balance shot, no, it's out of bounds. And that will do it. The first 2 quarters are in the books. Shelby with a 37-21 lead at the half. You're watching Boys High School Tournament Basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store, or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
But enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I go soon, soon. Knew as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in a room. I've been so real, I'm down to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred. Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hear my
Welcome to the El Campestre halftime show. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins. Shelby with a 37-21 lead. And I think maybe I was looking for a little bit more offense on both ends, but especially at the beginning of the game, it was like there was a lid over both baskets.
Well, I think you're right, but fortunately for Shelby, they found the groove a little bit quicker than Ontario did. And if it wasn't for Zahe, I think Zahe made both his baskets. They had 6 at the end of the first quarter. It was his 2 threes, and that was in the last minute and a half of the first quarter. So, since the second quarter has started and the last minute and a half of the first quarter, Ontario has found a little bit more success at the offensive end.
Let's take a look at the halftime numbers, and obviously with the score being the way it is, they're a little bit lopsided, but Ontario with those 3 threes, that's really what's kind of kept them at least moderately close.
Well,
and they've
right.
done a good job on the boards.
You're right, but I made the comment that they're a team that is not strong in taking the basketball to the basket. You can see that they're only been to the free throw line. They're 2 of 3 from the line. So they're going to be a perimeter shooting team, and they're going to need a lot more than 3. But with that being said, how many open looks did they have in the first half? They had a bunch of them. just weren't able to connect on them. If they can come out here early in the third period, convert those open looks, well, maybe they can get right back in the basketball game.
Well, I know you always talk about play in the paint, and does Ontario continue to launch threes, or do they try to attack the basket and look to finish?
Well, I think their DNA is perimeter. I think that's the way they're built. I am a coach that believes if you want to have success, especially in tournament play, you're going to have some success in close to the paint. That doesn't mean you have to play with a 6'5", 6'7" post kid, but it means you have to be able to dribble, penetrate. You got to be able to finish. It means you got to create some steals, some turnovers with your defense, and convert into easy layups. It means you got to get defensive rebounds, transition, get some easy looks at the basket, and then mix that in with some good three-point shooting.
Casey Lance leads all scorers with 12 points. Alex Bruskotter with 9. Max Hess with 6. And we saw Alex last year, and he really has the ability to take a game over. He seems to be very content seeing all of his teammates involved, especially guys like Hess and Lance.
Well, you're right. And, you know, if they do continue on after tonight, it'll be interesting when games are close from the onset. Does he take more of a commanding role offensively? Does he shoot a little bit more? You know, they have some other scorers, there's no question, but Bruskotter is one that has the ability, as you say, to score in so many ways.
Grady Schroeder with 7 for Ontario. He got all of those in the second quarter. Brady Zay and Carter Weaver each with 6, so they're starting to get a little bit more offensively from some other people in the second quarter, but they're going to need some spurts and they're going to need some defensive stops if they want to get back in this game in the third quarter.
Well, they do. Now, they scored 15 points in the second quarter. If they could put 4 quarters of that together, they could possibly make this a basketball game. They only average 57 points as a team anyway. They've had some games where they've scored big. They've had some games where they've been held very, very low. So they're, you know, a good scoring offensive team. But tonight, 21 points at the end of the first half, you know, that's not going to get it done in too many tournament games.
Now, seeing the mood that Greg Galloway was in before the ball game, is he happy at halftime?
You know, I don't think so. You know, I think he's happy to have a 16-point lead. He's happy that, hey, this is their first game in the tournament on this floor. So he's happy with that. He's happy that, boy, they're unselfish. They distribute the basketball. But when you're a coach with high expectations, you are going to be very particular, and you want everything to be precise. They finished the half 9 of 15 from the free throw line. Hey, he's happy that they got to the line and shot 15, but I'm sure he would like to make that 11 or 12 of 15. He's caused 10 turnovers. I'm sure he's happy with that, but he's given up 11 boards to Ontario, to a much smaller basketball team. He's not happy with that.
One of the things I once heard about Coach K was he wasn't going to get on you when you guys were down or when they lost or when they didn't play well. He was going to get on you in games like this where he felt like even though you had a big lead, there were some things that you weren't doing especially well, and those were the games where he would light you up.
And I think he was one of those that he would not light you up and embarrass you on TV, but in the locker room or in a timeout, in a huddle, he would let you know if you're not living up to par.
Carter Weaver, one of the bright spots in the second quarter for Ontario, had 6 points. And again, we saw him earlier this season, and he went down into a tough environment down in Clear Fork, and we saw what he could do offensively, and he showed flashes of that in the second quarter.
Right, and again, that was a game that, you know, I really thought Clear Fork had under control. Pretty much how they did the other night in the tournament game, and we're talking about the regular season game down in Colt Country, and Ontario found a way to come back.
Warriors start with the basketball in the third quarter, and a foul is going to be called right away on Bryson Baker. That's his second. Alex Bruskotter with 3 fouls to start the second half. Now you're less concerned about that when you're up 16.
Well, you're exactly right. We're going to see how he plays with a few fouls on him. Did he get his third, or did they give that to Lance there at the end of the second period?
Actually, that's a good point. That is a good point. Lance with 3. That was taken away, so Bruskotter only with 2. Ball poked out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Ontario.
You know, every now and then, Brian, I do make a good point. I throw out, as my wife says, you throw out 40 or 50 ideas, one of them is going to be a good one.
One's going to stick.
One's going to stick.
Well, and if you're a Shelby fan, you're awfully happy that he only has 2 fouls.
Well, you're exactly right. But as we start this third period, Shelby is so close to causing another turnover. Ontario, again, each time down now, you want to be able to get a good shot at the basket. And again, they got to convert some of these this half.
Weaver gives it up.
Being
Weaver
very, very patient.
Got Bruskotter in his face. And Miller picked up by Ramsey.
Shelby doing a good job of not allowing dribble penetration, though I don't think Ontario is really a team that penetrates a great deal. As I say that, good penetration.
And a foul on Ramsey. He did not get a look at your scouting report.
Miller has done a good job inside the paint tonight. He's collected some offensive rebounds, and here he did a good job of taking his man down into the paint and using his athletic ability and jumping up and getting a chance to go to the line. And Ontario scores the first points of the second half.
Miller now with 3, averages about 4 points a game on the regular season.
Well, when you got 2 studs out like Ontario has, everybody's going to have to pick up their average tonight.
Well, we talk about free throw shooting. Coming into tonight, he was only a 47% free throw shooter, and he makes both of them.
When you need them. First time tonight we've seen Ontario with a little full court pressure.
Backside pass to Ramsey doesn't go. It's batted around, and Ontario continues to do a nice job on the glass. And they will slow it down. Down 14. And Weaver off balance in the lane, but he gets his miss.
Just not able to finish. Great hustle. Great aggressiveness to get the rebound. Just not able to finish. Nice hesitation move by Bruskotter. Very nice hesitation. Got the man to relax on defense. He took advantage.
Weaver for 3. Bruskotter with another rebound, up ahead to Baker. And Miller clears the miss.
Bruskotter with a nice three-quarters court pass that time.
And Weaver with a bucket and a foul. He'll go to the line, and Ramsey commits personal number 3.
And that's a nice finish with contact. Kept his eye on the prize, kept his eye on the backboard and the rim, and got the ball up high and got it to fall.
2 out of 3 so far tonight from the line is Weaver.
Remember, the first half they only went to the free throw line, shot 3 free throws tonight. Or second half they've already matched that. Again, we got a little full court pressure.
Weaver now with 9. There's a bump and a blocking foul called. That'll be on Leach. That'll be his 3rd.
Baker does the old Euro step himself. You can see that Shelby teaches that well, which is a very good offensive move, dribbling move to avoid the charge. It's taking a step one direction and then stepping back the other direction away from the defense.
That wasn't a thing when you played, was it?
Well, I did it, but it was always traveling. I would take 3 or 4 steps. But if I was LeBron James, I could get away with it, but I wasn't.
Baker misses the first. And misses them both, and Miller clears the rebound.
Well, if Shelby does continue, that's one thing they'll be doing at practice is shooting free throws.
And they're going to call a jump ball. Shelby, a 58% free throw shooting team. And in case you're wondering, that was the worst in the MOAC.
I'm sorry, what was the number?
58%, 5-8 as a team from the line.
Big shot. Get a little bit of momentum going.
Long three in the air, doesn't go.
All righty. Since you
Let's
and I,
see the
Brian,
replay.
were avoiding, let's watch it right here. Bingo, right there.
We were looking at free throw numbers. I was looking at the wrong number. That's what got us going off page there.
I wish you were my tax accountant and look at the wrong number.
So they're 72%. That's a little bit better.
That is better. Now, tonight, though, they're not shooting that. Just a little over 50.
Miller with a post up inside.
Boy, I tell you, he has done a nice job tonight. He's a sophomore.
And a foul at the other end.
Again, I go back to what I said early, that we have some really good underclassmen in this area. Basketball's going to be strong. Miller's one of them. He's a sophomore that, boy, he's got some potential. Nice dribble weave.
Inside
nice
to Bruskotter. And misses the bunny. Up ahead to Zay. No, and he's going to be fouled as Max Hess commits the personal.
That is one, though, where I think Zay would like to have that back, where I think he could have converted. I don't know if he took his eyes off the basket and was worried about the contact, but, you know the contact's coming. Just get that ball up softly off the backboard and get your chance for a three-point play, but he's going to go to the line shooting 2.
Zay was the offense early for Ontario with 2 threes.
Ontario's already shot more free throws here in the first 5 minutes of the 4 minutes of the third period than they did the entire first half. It's good to see him being a little bit more aggressive.
And he splits the pair.
Ooh, almost a steal.
DeVito, and it's a nice steal as Landon Foltz gets it up ahead to Miller. And another missed layup. And a floater in the basket for Brubaker.
But you're right. Missed opportunities for Ontario. Not
Shot.
this time, though.
Nope. Landon Foltz, the freshman, is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
And he did a good job. Watch the highlight there. He goes right into the defensive chest with his left hand. He puts up the shot, and he converts, but he goes right into the defensive chest, draws the foul, chance for a three-point play. Good offensive play that time.
Lefty sights it and completes the three-point play. Bruskotter from the block. And he's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
It looked like Ontario wanted to double down. They just didn't get there in time. Bruskotter had too good a position there in the block. Here's a good post entry. Just goes up again, right through the chest, right through the arms of the defense, and gets a chance for a three-point shot himself.
Bruskotter with 13. He's a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. And another three in the air. This one drops for Grayson Purvis, the hero in the tournament win over Clear Fork.
And those were the looks they were having early and couldn't connect. This time they connect. Right away, Tim Merkel calls timeout. They're down 11.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter, plenty of time, and this is what you don't want to see if you're Gregg Galloway. You just don't want to give them the slightest idea that they're still in this game.
No, you don't. Obviously you're playing a shorthanded team. You want to put this team away early and let them know that it's not going to be much of a basketball game. But, Ontario, some tough kids. They have had a couple of opportunities tonight where they could have just dialed it in and used the players that aren't here as an excuse. But they have fought back and, hey, they're only down 11, couple of threes. They've been getting open looks again. Knock down a couple of more threes. We could have a great fourth quarter.
Well, and you see the Ontario bench there. I don't see a lot of panic. I don't see a lot of yelling. Everything is just kind of calm. And Tim Merkel is just trying to get his players to relax and just play.
I think that's the key. I think you're right. I think first and foremost, Coach Merkel just wants them to be loose. Try to relax. You're going to make some mistakes. It's going to happen, but, get out and just play loose and play hard.
Bruskotter walks it up against Weaver. Tries to bounce it. Inside is taken away by Miller.
Here they go.
And a layup by Schroeder. And Schroeder with 9.
Ontario's
and it's a 9-point game.
Yeah, and Ontario's coming out and doing a little pressing. Nice pass.
Nice touch pass inside to Carson Brubaker.
Yeah, Hess, you're right. Caught the ball in the air without coming down, just made a good touch pass.
48-37, 2.5 to go in the third. And Ontario trying to make it interesting here. In this sectional final, the winner of this game will take on either Willard or Lexington. You can watch that here on the OH Report right after this game. The three launched and missed by Schroeder. Hess with a strong move inside.
I don't think Coach Merkel's happy with the last couple of possessions, getting the basketball inside too easily, Shelby is, and getting some good looks.
Schroeder, he'll take it inside, lay it up and in, and he'll be fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Now, if we have that on replay, look how he looks away. We didn't get that one, I guess, but hey, look how he looks. He does a great job looking away. We do, and he drives to the basket and gets an and one.
I think that was a how dare you doubt me look.
Yeah, I get, Adam, our producer, he and I have been at odds for a couple of weeks now. I don't know what it's over, but
Schroeder with 11.
They can get the deficit down to 10.
And they do. Get it up top to Brubaker. And DeVito pulls up from about 8, doesn't go. And Ontario with another make. Weaver at the top of the circle.
Ooh, he looked like he wanted to shoot it. 1 minute to go.
And a foul on Bruskotter. That is foul number 3.
And again, I think that was a frustration. Ontario holding the basketball, being very patient. Bruskotter wants to get the ball and go up and down the court. And we are going to be at the free throw line for the rest of the game for Ontario. A good way to get back into the basketball game is at the free throw line with 55.9 left. They have a chance to cut it to 8.
So the freshman with 3 and make that 4. And he can make it an 8-point game with this free throw. Bruskotter with a big rebound.
Nice post entry.
Zips it inside, and a quick bucket for Bryson Baker.
Baker did a good job of pinning a man inside. Bruskotter found him.
Schroeder off balance. You're going to say he traveled. So a big turnover for the Warriors with 26 seconds to go.
I think he went a little bit quicker than what Coach Merkel wanted. I think he knew that if Coach Merkel knew that if Ontario shot too early, it didn't matter. Shelby was going to get the last shot. So you might as well run the clock down and get the last shot yourself. But now Shelby's got a chance to build on the 11-point lead.
Bruskotter picked up by Miller.
Will they let him go one-on-one, or will they bring a man up to ball screen?
Here comes
the
Ramsey.
Screens up top. Little horns action. He doesn't need it.
Launches the 3. It doesn't go. And up ahead, a 3 in the air, and it does not go. And we will head to the fourth quarter. Shelby 52, Ontario 41. We'll be back to Madison right after this.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
Well, Shelby is 8 minutes away from a trip to the district semifinal as they await the winner of the second game of this doubleheader between Willard and Lexington. And right now, they're up by 11 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Alex Bruskotter with 14. And Shelby being outscored in that third quarter by 5.
Yeah, Ontario scored 20 points in that quarter. That's a good job offensively. They start with the basketball, so if they can get this deficit into single digits, put a little bit more pressure on Shelby, who knows what's going to happen.
Miller. And another 3 from the wing doesn't go. Bruskotter with a long pass. It's picked off.
They've got numbers to get a good look.
Ball batted out of bounds off the hands of Casey Lance.
Remember, Ontario is in the free throw situation now, so wouldn't hurt to be aggressive right now, get to the hoop and draw some fouls. Have a chance to score with the clock stopped.
Ontario 9 of 11 in their trips to the line tonight. And Weaver off balance. It doesn't go. And he tried to save it. Ramsey with a jump stop. And look who chased down the rebound. It was Carter Weaver. Out of bounds. It will go back to Ontario. Weaver kind of went into no man's land and had nowhere to go. Schroeder has it tipped away by Bruskotter. And Bruskotter is fouled at the other end. And Brady Zay didn't want to give up the highlight dunk.
No, he didn't. And that's a play that Ontario's run a few times tonight. And I think Bruskotter said, that's enough. I've seen this too often. I'm going to jump the passing lane and get the steal.
Bruskotter with 14. And he is now perfect from the line, 3 for 3.
He is perfect, but the team is only 10 of 18 from the free throw line. They're not having a great free throw shooting night.
No.
But he is 4 for 4 now. And
as they are well below their 72% average from the line. Miller tries to spin on Ramsey. And Weaver drives inside. They're going to call the offensive foul on Carter Weaver.
Now, looks like a good call for high school basketball as we see the replay, but in college where the semicircle is down there, a secondary defender, that would have been a foul on the defense. But we're not in college, so that's a foul, offensive foul. Another turnover by Ontario.
And some contact. They're going to call a jump ball. Getting a little physical.
It is, and I've been waiting for the time to to say that for either team progressing in the tournament, as you progress, the officials are going to let you play more. It's going to get more and more physical, which I'm a fan of. Here's the high and low, how he got it. I have no idea. It was double teamed inside.
If
Ontario.
We can see this replay, I don't know how Alex Bruskotter got this ball.
No, Ontario defended it extremely well.
Talk about dropping it into a bucket.
Yeah, exactly. But once he caught it, there was not much to do.
13-point game, 5.5 minutes to go. The winner takes on Willard or Lex. That's a game that you can see right here on the OH report. Ball tipped away, and here come the Whippets. Up ahead to Bruskotter. Tried to gather himself to go up, but the foul is called, and Bruskotter will go back to the line.
One thing I've noticed is Ontario is not going to give you anything easy. They're going to make you have to go to the free throw line. They're going to have to make you pay for anything that you have inside. But Bruskotter having a nice night from the free throw line.
The Division II District 6 Player of the Year. A couple of his teammates as he hits the first free throw. Isaiah Ramsey and Casey Lance were second team selections. Leads back to 15. Fultz attacks on the baseline and feeds it inside to Zay.
Nice strong move by Zay inside against the bigger kids, going up strong with it. Nice pass, nice cut.
Hess now in double figures with 10. And Weaver again with a strong move inside, but the foul will be called on Hess, and that's his third.
And again, keep dribble penetrating. Keep being aggressive with the basketball, and if you're going to get fouled, you get a chance to go to the free throw line with the clock stopped. It'll be interesting to see if Ontario comes back with a little full court pressure. If he makes these, he doesn't make them. So Shelby is off and running transition.
Ball tipped away by Weaver. And Weaver races the other end and lays it up and in. And the Warriors take a timeout with 4 minutes to go, and you kind of get the feeling maybe this is just kind of we need to get a little breather here with 4 minutes to go. He has not gone very deep into his bench.
Well, and again, when your two key players are not playing, that's your bench. You're playing some kids in minutes that they're not used to playing, so that's going to happen. Also, I know over here on the Ontario side there are a lot of fans that are disappointed with the lack of movement at times by Ontario, but I'm here to tell you that these 5 guys on the court probably have played very little together as the 5 on the court. They're missing 2 key players that are 2 big cogs. Yeah, they need to get more movement, but they've had 1 day to practice since their Wednesday night game. Not much time to prepare. Looks like Shelby's going to be content to be a little patient with the basketball. Bruskotter with a nice drive. They've passed up their last 2 open three-point looks to be patient.
Bruskotter now with 20. And he's a little more assertive now at the offensive end. He's got 22 and a timeout taken by Gregg Galloway.
Watch this move by Bruskotter, though. A great job of a step through, turn, step through. Very nice move into the paint. Tough to defend.
Alex Bruskotter is going to come out of the game, it looks like, with 3:28 to go. After a 22-point performance, his work is done. And unless something unforeseen happens in the last 3:28, Shelby is going to advance to take on either Willard or Lexington. At 1 point above his average.
1 point above the average?
Average is 21, got 22. We had the opportunity, I remember last year, to talk to him. A very nice kid. Got a feeling we're going to talk to him again here shortly.
I could tell you that he and my neighbor.
Oh, he's not coming out. He's staying in the game.
He and my neighbor went to prom together this year, and one time he was over visiting. I had to ask him to help chase down some wild chickens that were running around.
Okay, you have wild chickens at your house?
Well, they're not wild. We have, I should say my wife has chickens, and they were running around the yard, and I wasn't quick enough to get them.
Well, I may have to ask him about that. Forget the basketball. We want to talk about chickens. Weaver with a nice move inside.
Nice, strong move.
Shelby now extremely patient at the offensive end. And with the right
when you
hand,
are patient, sometimes the lane opens up as the defense leaves the lane to get closer to their man. They take advantage of it.
Miller misfires from outside.
Nice pass.
Very unselfish. Solid ball movement, and Bryson Baker now with 9. 3 in the air. Does not go for Zay.
Shelby's got some good ball handlers. They're a difficult team to defend if they want to really be patient. Now, they're not a team that likes to be patient unless it's near the end of the game. They have a lead, but they got good ball handlers. They're good passers. Nice back door.
Bruskotter finishes with a two-handed slam. Puts the exclamation point on his night. And Miller, with a drive of his own, is blocked by Ramsey. And now wholesale substitutions. Now Bruskotter comes out of the game along with the entire starting 5 for the Shelby Whippets, as they have a sectional title in hand. He reached the 1,000 point club. So congratulations to Alex.
I think he's over 1,000 with the dunk, but I think that previous timeout was to celebrate him scoring his 1,000th point. And again, he did it, and he's only a junior.
Take a look at the two-handed flush. And they will advance to the district semis.
They were in a battle tonight.
Well, they were.
Ontario played hard for being shorthanded especially. The kids played hard.
Under a minute to go. And DeVito will slow it up with 40 seconds to go. They lob it inside, and a layup for Carson Holman.
The quarterback throws a dime.
And a foul on Carson Brubaker. And Brubaker will come out. Grayson Purvis will go to the free throw line. Of course,
See number 30 in the white for Shelby, Brennan Lewis, my all-time favorite Shelby basketball player. I love the kid. Great kid, great family. Hope he gets a chance. And I tell you, he's a heck of a shooter. He's an underclassman. Hope he gets a chance for a shot here.
Well, with 15 seconds to go, it does not look like they are going to even attempt a shot. And Shelby will advance after a 70-48 win over the Ontario Warriors. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
But enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon, soon. Know as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in a room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred. Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hear my
We are back at Madison Middle School where Shelby wins another sectional championship by defeating Ontario in a game that was a little sluggish at the beginning, but at the end of the night, Shelby is just a better ball club.
Well, there's no question, especially when you consider Ontario playing shorthanded. But, you know, Shelby didn't get out to a real hot start, but it was a better start than what Ontario had, certainly. But from that start, from the end of the first quarter, they had a difficult time putting Ontario away until maybe the last 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter here tonight. So, you know, I really give a lot of credit to Ontario for battling. They're shorthanded. They played on Wednesday night. They have 1 day to prepare for their conference champion to play for the third time, and the kids came out and they battled.
Now they're down there cutting down the nets after their sectional championship, and we're going to take a quick look at our stats. And as you see, the field goals with a decisive advantage by Shelby. They got 24, couple threes. The rebounding edge was actually, it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Ontario did a nice job on the glass, especially offensively.
Well, they did, and I thought Miller especially offensively did a real nice job with some offensive rebounds. But, you know, we talked early in the game about what can you be happy with, what do you not happy with. I'm sure if you're Coach Galloway, you're saying, listen, we've got to do a better job of rebounding than just one. And as a shorthanded Ontario team, we should have dominated from the board standpoint.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with our MVP right after this.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
But enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Know as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm down to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred. Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hear my
Time now for our Mechanics Bank MVP, Alex Bruskotter, 24 points. First of all, congratulations on the sectional championship. You guys came up short last year against Mansfield Senior, so this is something, obviously, that probably meant a lot to you guys coming into tonight.
Yeah, it's always good to get a sectional championship. Winning the district is obviously one of our goals, and we got to get there by winning a sectional. So didn't play great, but played good enough to win, get a tournament win under our belt.
You guys had to know that Shelby or Ontario's going to come in and at least give you their best effort, even though they were shorthanded.
Yeah, especially since we played them about a week ago and beat them pretty good. We knew they would give us a good effort, and we were listening to their interviews after the game. They were saying they felt good and stuff about this game, so we knew if we just played like we did last week, we'd be all right.
Bit of a milestone for you tonight. You eclipsed the.
Hey, I got to go take this picture.
Yeah, you got to get a team picture there, buddy.
We'll let you go. You go down and get in that picture. Alex Bruskotter, our MVP. And we'll come back and wrap it up right after this.
Tired of trying to find the one? Well, look no further than Spitzer Jeep Ram Mansfield. Panda can help you create your perfect driving partner today with our Spitzer Speed Pass. Browse our new and used inventory to find the vehicle you love.
Like a new Ram 1500 during the President's Day sales event.
Next, Spitzer Speed Pass allows you to apply for financing, value your trade, and build your payment. Then it's time to meet your match in store, or we'll deliver right to your door.
Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
But enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Know as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm down to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred. Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hear my
Welcome to our El Campestre postgame show. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins, and tonight we got what we expected. Shelby was going to get the win. They were going to advance and play either Willard or Lexington. This is the first time you and I have seen Shelby live this year. Is there a team, either Willard or Shelby or Lexington, you think they match up with better?
Well, I don't think, as the short interview we were able to have with Bruskotter, I think he, hit the nail right on the head that this was not one of their better games. So, whether they play Willard or Lexington, they're going to have to play better than they did tonight. But, again, this is a tough situation to come into. Your opponent is shorthanded. You've already played them twice. You've handled them just within the last couple of weeks. And the Ontario kids didn't back down. So, if you're Coach Galloway, I don't know if there is one team that you'd rather play, but that you better play well with either of them.
Well, with the win, Shelby is now 20-3, and the Whippets advance to play the Lexington-Willard winner in next week's district tournament, and that'll be held at Ashland. Ontario ends the season 13-11. The final score tonight, Shelby 70 and Ontario 48. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, and the fine camera work courtesy of Mason Neese. Most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final, Shelby 70, Ontario 48. For Gregg Collins, I'm Brian Harter. So long from Madison.